So hey guys, today I will be trying this Codeforces 1339b problem, sorted adjacent edge differences. I will be solving it and you will be solving it on your own, and if you are not able to solve it you can check my solution. I will try to solve this problem and get it accepted. If you are unable to solve, you can take help from my code. Also you can take help from these editorials. So now let's start. So this is something I think it's important, and it is always possible to find such arrangement. Note that all number are not necessarily different. Okay, so now let's see how it to done. So 5 minus 2, 4, 8, 6, 5. Okay, minus 2, 5, 5, 6. This is 4, 0. Here it's 1, here it's 2. So any one of these, then we will go to somewhat adjacent of these with difference 1. So difference is 0, so the closest to them. So that will be correct. So I think the first one, definitely if there is some repeating element, that would be there, or like in the second case 1, 2, 4, 8, which could be this is this 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 4. The difference is the most important necessary. So how should we do this? Like, think we should sort somewhat. Okay, so the thing is that we should be going only in the opposite direction of these, the one with the minimum. So because suppose we after this we took 8, so the difference this from 5 to 8 would definitely be greater than this difference. So and we want to sort in increasing distance, so we should take the adjacent first and then go to the opposite sides. Alright, and then using this approach we can go to either this side or this side, but that would be decided by the minimum of these two. So here both are same, so we can go anywhere. Then we will go to say this one 6. Now we are here, this is here, this is here, so we have to take the minimum. This is the minimum, so 8 would be here and this would be here. Okay, so this is a valid answer as it's given here. Okay, so now what if that these two are not equal? Like, let's suppose they have 5 5 here and 6 8 are here, and here we have 20, here it's 25. So then how could this be done? So here we have 0, here we have 1, 2, 12, and then 5. Okay, so 5 and 5 definitely have to come first, and then 6 and 8. This much is clear. But the next number which we choose, so if we are here, the distance between this is always greater than this. Alright. So this means before choosing this we have to take this, because if we choose 25 first before 20 in our order, then this distance would be lesser than the distance which is already taken. It could be equal, but oh yes, it should not be equal, because then there would be two zeros which are also not possible. So there would be only one element which would be repeated. We would be printing it first, and then we can't go from here to here. So I think if you take 25 here and 20 here, or 20 here 25 here, so this difference would be 17 and this would be 5. So this is invalid, because 5 must be greater than this, and 8 and 5, this will be 12 and this would be 5. This is also invalid. So I think this cannot be solved, and as it is given in the problem that it is always possible to find such arrangement, so I think this would not be an input. So now what I am able to observe is that there would be like, it would be something like this: A and B C D E F G H I J. There can be multiple times A, so we have to first find this and print the take our pointers here. So we have all A here. Then so we are now here. So we have to find minimum of B, absolute of B minus A and absolute of G minus A. Whichever is comes minimum, we have to, suppose B comes minimum, we have to print B and take it to this side. Suppose this has only G, and then we have to print G only. And so we will take this here, and then since this has reached the end, so the only possible way is to choose from here, and from this side we have to go with C D E F, because if we go with D C E F, then this G minus D, so this whole distance would definitely be greater than this difference, because this whole is this distance plus this difference, so this would definitely be some part of it. And as we have discussed that there cannot be more than one duplicates, so this would always be valid. So if we have reached to the end of any side, suppose we have reached this end, then we will print all of them in this order, increasing or decreasing order, based on the place we have reached. So I think this would be fine approach. But what if there is no repeated element? So here in this, like in the second case, 8 1 4 2, in sorted order it's like this: 1 2 4. So we have to first find the minimum and then other than it. Okay, this is itself the answer. So we have to first take the minimum distance, then some greater and then some greater. So for this case, let's suppose it's like -5, -3, 0, 4 1, and let's suppose 1 is here and 5 is here. So if we see difference is 2 absolute, 3, 1, 3 and 5 and 1. So the minimum difference comes out to be 1 twice. So over here it's 3. So I don't think this would be an input because there are same difference, but there is something in between. So suppose if we printed 4 and 5 first, so this would be printed first. Then if we can't add this 1, or because if we add any one of these which is greater than less than this, then this distance, or suppose we did like this 5 4 1, this distance would be 3, this would be 1, but then we would not be able to add 0 at any point, or because this 4 minus 3 would be 6 and this would be some part of it. So let's think again. Basically for duplicate it's clear, it would be like this only. But for non-duplicate, if we have same, let's think again about this only. Minus 5, minus 3, 0, 1. It was the 4 and 5. 5. What could be a possible answer? So basically what I think is that we have to grow the difference between these two numbers at each and every step. Then only the absolute difference would increase. So suppose we start from this. Now the absolute difference is 1 here, 3 here, 1 here, 3 here, 2 here. So we just, if we placed some this or this difference just next to it, then we cannot place 4 after 5. Okay, but suppose we placed not like this, 1 0 minus 3 minus 5 and then 4 and 5. So difference here 1 3 and here it's 2, so this is invalid. So rather than that, let's try to reverse and place it minus 5 minus 3. So this distance is again 5, this is 2. Okay, so what can be observed here is that this difference and this difference, so this is 3, this one is 5, this is 2. Okay, so this 2 should come first and then this 3 should come. So the smaller distance should always come first. But there is no way if we start from this to reach that point. Let's think again. Okay, so basically the same principle applies here also, but the only thing is that from where should we start, that is not clear. Okay, so now I think I have some better approach. So the ones this continuous differences minimum and the same should be adjacent. So like if this was 2 and 3, so this is also 1, this is also 1. So we can do 0, 1, 2, 3, and then since the difference here is all the pair are 0, we can give something like 3 and minus 3 and minus 5 or not. No, this could also not be done because 2 has to become first and 2 cannot come first. So I don't think that this would be solvable at all. Okay, this will not be the case, that's for sure. Yes, we have to only go to one direction from this and this. Okay, so now I think I found this approach. So how am I going to approach is, first I will sort the array, and in the sorted array I would be finding the minimum adjacent difference, and from there, suppose I found that minimum adjacent difference is here, so from this to this I will expand on both sides until the minimum difference is this only, and suppose I was able to reach this point. So first I will print it from this side to that side, and then I will grow to both side which has first which has minimum difference, then which has maximum difference, and suppose if I reached end of one point, then I will print all. Okay, so now let's try to code it. Let's copy the input first. Yeah. Make some space here. So where in the solve function we have to input this. So we will input an array size n, read of size n. So now we have the array. We will sort it one. So now we have the sorted array. So now let's get a min difference equals to, let's say suppose it's int underscore max currently. So array size would be at least 3. So we would be getting some min difference. Okay. Now we first need to just calculate this min difference, and the position of min difference. So we will go from I to n not n minus 1. If here I absolute difference, this would be positive as the array is sorted, but still I don't know why I am doing absolute, but still is greater than minimum difference. That means we have found something greater. Then min difference would become this value from here to here, and the position of minimum value would be, suppose we are storing the left most position, would become I. So at this point we have the min position. So also let's make j to I plus 1. So we have basically two pointers. Suppose this was our array sorted, so this I became the min difference between these was minimum, so I am setting this to j. So now how should we done? So we need to first grow this till the bit difference is the same. And how would that be done? So I is here, j is here. Let's first go to the left side. While I is I minus 1 is greater than equal to 0, and area of I minus 1, or let's again take absolute of area of I minus 1 minus area of I is equal to min difference. We would be keep on going to the left. Okay, equal to min difference. Similarly, let's grow on the right side while j plus 1 is less than n, and absolute of area of j plus 1 minus area of j is equal to min difference. We will be doing j plus plus. So now we have reached to some end. So we will be printing first these element for k equals to I, k is less than equal to j, and k plus plus. See out array of k. Array element at k we are printed. So now we have to grow in both direction by taking the minimum first. So like suppose now we are here, somewhere here. Now we have to grow to both sides. First we have to go to the side which is more closer. Okay, so now how would we do that? That can be done easily or it's difficult. Okay, how could we have to just plan a way? So okay, so we will just use somewhat similar to merge sort approach. So while I is greater than equal to 0 and should be I minus 1, because if we have reached to just one element or I minus 1, okay, and j plus 1 is less than n. So while we are between, so let's take left difference is area of I my absolute, always necessary here, area of I minus area of I minus 1. Right is always absolute of the j minus area of j plus 1. So we have to go to the minimum. So if left is less than right, okay, so then we have to print arrays I minus 1 element and go I minus minus, else, or we actually have to print all these elements, but the order is one thing which is determinant here. Okay, so we will be first printing this here, and else we would be just printing it in reverse order. So here it would be j plus 1 and here it would be I minus 1, and after each of these operation we would bring I plus plus and j minus I minus minus and j plus plus. So we have, I think, done it right. So when I would be 1, this would be happening, and I would be 0, this won't be happening, and j would be n minus 1, this would be happening. J should be less than n. Okay, I think this is right. And after this point, if there is something left, so while basically I is greater than equal to 0, see out area of I that means there would be just one of these would be happening. And while j is less than n, cout array at j, let's also increment it here only. And then for each test case, let's print in next line. So let me just first dry run this question to get the clarity that it's working as expected. So the input is this only: 5 minus 2 4 8 6 5. Minus 2 4, then it's 5 5 6 8. Okay, so now let's go and run this. So first we are just sorting it, which we have done here. Then we are finding the absolute minimum difference position. So we will start with this. This minus this would be 6. So it would be stored in the first. Then it would come as 1. Then it will become 0. So I think I after this point would be here. This would 1. This would be 2. This would not make any effect. So in the array, I would be here and j would be here. Okay, so and we have found this. Now we are going on both sides till the difference is same on both the sides. So while I minus 1 is greater than equal to 0, and absolute difference between this minus this, absolute min difference is 0 over here. So absolute difference will become 1 and we would go back. But this won't happen here, this won't happen, I'm sure, here. Okay, so we will, and then from I to j we are printing, so the output also let's maintain somewhere here. So the output here we would be having would be like this. Then we are going to both the sides, so the left is absolute of this minus this, which is 1, and right is absolute of this minus this, which is also 1. So left is equal to right, so this will not work. We will be entering this. So first we would be printing 6, then 4, and then I would be coming here and j would be coming here. Alright, and then we would be again calculating left, which would be 6, right, which would be 2. So 2 would be less, so right would be less, left is less than right, false, so we would be entering here. So we would be first printing 8 and then minus 2. So I think this one should go right, and I would be here and j would be here. So greater than equal to 0. I think we need to modify this situation, this thing somewhat, because it would again print these two numbers. So it is not equal to 0, it is greater than 0. And less than n, less than n minus 1. Let me think again of this. This condition appears to be wrong to me, because when I is at 0 and j it as is at 0 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 6. So I is at 0. So basically I think the approach I followed here I should also be followed. I minus 1, and this thing is j plus 1, and we have to print j plus 1. Alright, so I think this would be now fine, or not. Okay, let's test on the other example that would make things even more clear. The other example is 1 2 4 8. So I think till this point everything would be remaining same. 1, this will be 2, this will be 4. So we will be having 1 as the min difference, then you will be growing on both sides. But here it is already less than 0, so we won't go in this loop. For this loop we would go, but this condition would be false because difference is 2, which is greater than, which is not equal to this. Okay, then we would be printing 1 comma 2 as our output, and then we would be, this entire loop won't happen because of this condition, as we have reached to I equal to 0, and this loop will again not happen, so this loop would happen. So j is at, so 0 1, then j plus 1 2, which is less than 0, less than n, so we would be printing 4, and then again j would become 2, 2 plus 1 3, which is less, so we would be printing 8, and j would become 3, so 3 plus 1 4 is equal, so I think this would work. Now let's just run this and test. Hopefully it is processing and it should give right answer. Okay, so we have just small syntax errors. Let's see, and we have some answers. Okay, so let's just compare it with the output, which should come. Okay, the output is not coming as expected. Why is this 0 getting printed? Okay, so I need to debug the problem now. So let's make first debug for this. So let's check what was the min difference, and let's then debug and check what was the position, or rather I. Okay, I think this was the mistake. I should be equal to position, because we are storing in position. Okay, this is again something really wrong. Hmm. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's just remove everything else from the code right now, because we just need these two. Let's see what is it. Govern. There's some bracket problem, some semicolon problem. See, okay, the min difference is itself coming to int max. Okay, I understood the problem. So now min difference is 0 and I is coming as, okay, now it should be fine, I think. So let's uncomment this all. Now let's run this, and it's giving, I think, the correct output. Now let's again run this for both. Hopefully it should give the correct, oh, it's again giving this wrong output. Difference. First one, I don't know why this problem is occurring. Let's again comment this code and comment this. Now let's see why is this test case giving undesired result. So this is already sorted, right? So the sorted array would be something like this, and I should be 0, I think. What's it doing? Okay, this is a problem. Why is I coming 0? Okay. So I need to just control C, control V, because I'm using I as the first iterator. So let's see what is the answer. Okay, so this part is correct. So I think this part is correct. So let's remove this line. Let's now go back here. So basically I think we need to just check where is the I and J. Let's see, where does the I and J goes. Okay, so here till this point it's correct, let's uncomment this. Let's see, where does ing go? It should not go anywhere. This is also fine. Now let's uncomment this also and see the output should be 1 2. Okay, this is also fine. And I think this code is making some, so let's just check what's the output here. Okay, here also it's coming fine. So where is the problem then? Let's comment this. See, where is the problem? Okay, this was also fine. Oh, I found the error. It was a really bad error. Now I think it should go fine. Yes, now it's running fine. Now let's copy and test this thing entirely at once. Now let's run and it should give this output. It's running, I think. Okay, so we have our output. Let's compare it. And I think the output is, this one does not make difference. I think the difference is 2, difference is 1, difference is 4. This is really big. So now I think we should try to submit this. Hopefully this should be accepted. Okay, there is some bad gateway problem. Let's now retry this. Okay, where is this problem? I was doing this question. Okay, I think the Codeforces site is not responding. So no problem, I would be submitting it and sharing it with you. So this was my 2-pointer approach. Really, I think a really good question, but there is some contest right now going on, so that is why there is this problem. So if I want to explain my approach again, it would be something I think can explain by code. So first I am just sorting this. So what we want to print is the maximum difference should be there. So for first we find that what is the minimum adjacent difference in the sorted list. Then we grow, take our 2 pointers to the maximum value until the difference between the adjacent is the same. Like in, suppose let's take some small example to understand it better. Let's say it's 1 2 2 2 3 4 5. So the ing would be here after this loop, and in after this loop I would be here. At this point we are moving I to as much as left possible such that the adjacent difference is 0, and here we are moving j as much right such that the adjacent difference is 0. So after this j would come here, and here the difference become 1, so it would stop. So basically we have found the minimum, so we would be printing it, and then we would be growing to both the sides from this to this until we have reached some end. And if we have reached some end, then the only possible way is to just print this in increasing order as we have discussed previously. Because if we print some element which is less, suppose we print 3 before 5 and we have reached to end here, then it would always contradict the case. You can also dry run and test, and I'm sure. So when this website would come up, let's just reload, and once it's going bad, no problem. So I will submit it and make another part. So you can share, comment below your approach, and thank you.